Hi everyone, it's Volodymyr. I invite you to my channel about electromobility, and today again we have a long trip, 900 kilometers roughly, from area around Vienna, that's a Polsku city, to Gdansk, that's almost near Gdańsk or Danzig in the northern Poland. And today I want to test something. Yesterday it was quite hot for 1st of April. Today is the 2nd of April. Yesterday it was like 25 degrees centigrade all in the day. And I have already my new touring summer tires, Michelin e.Primacy 18-inch tires. And I wanted to check how far can I drive in good weather conditions with these new tires. They have a low rolling resistance, just A rating, so I hope they are adding efficiency to my car. Yeah, and with the good weather, no rain, let's say, and moderate temperatures, we can travel quite far. So I have checked yesterday. If we still need to do 3 stops for our trip of 900 kilometers, and it appears that under optimal conditions 2 stops are just fine. Yeah, and basically the first stop we can do already in Poland, more than 300 kilometers from the start of our trip, from Polsku, and we give it a try today. Today, of course, weather is worsening. It's only 14 degrees centigrade now. We may have some rain on our road, so I have 2 options. I don't want to stop on Supercharger Olomouc. I will arrive there with roughly 40 or more than 40% charge, so I decided to skip it. And I have put into the Tesla navigation, I have put 2 options. First one, Ostrava, Mercedes Center, Moravia. It has PRE or pre-charger, 150 kilowatts. And as an alternative, I can drive, if weather is good and everything is fine, I can drive straight to the Poland, yeah, and do my first stop at Shell Belk. This is an Oxo station in the roaming of Elocity, Polish roaming network. So why not? Let's try. I have never been charging at Ostrava. They received 150 kilowatt chargers just recently. That's suboptimal stop because we have to do off-ramp and drive into the city in order to charge there. So it's similar to Katowice Supercharger. We need to lose time to off-ramp just to get slightly faster charging compared to 75 kilowatt units on the Autobahn. But anyway, I have put this as a stop. And another option is Shell Belk, as I mentioned. So far, so good. We are going to reach it based on our current consumption. I have decreased my speed to 125 kilowatts. We have quite strong side wind, so not a lot of cars are driving faster than we at 125 kilometers per hour. So let's see. Anyway, if you want to optimize your travel time in an EV, you want to drive as far as possible on the first segment of your trip. So you need to use as much battery as it possible, and of course stop at the fastest possible charger to utilize your charging speed. So that's what we are going to do today. And yeah, see you closer to the charger. I will show you our stats. So okay, we are already in Ostrava, and I have decided not to stop in Ostrava and continue straight to Poland. It is already more than 300 kilometers, so it would be 370 kilometers from our start. That's quite impressive range for my 3-year Tesla, but it was not possible to do 0 stops on this fragment of the trip. We had to do a technical stop on a rest station on the Autobahn, and we haven't even reached Olomouc Supercharger. We decided not to stop there anyway, but at the station we stopped at the fuel station. It was a MOL fuel station. It appeared that they have a charger, 50 kilowatt charger, and I decided, okay, if you stop anyway, why don't we use this occasion and charge a bit more? Then we will increase the buffer for our first proper charging stop, or we can even select another stop even further along our route. But unfortunately, when you don't have an account for the specific charging network and your charging network is not offering roaming there, then you have a problem. That was exactly my situation. First I have tried to use my Greenway card without success. Then I have tried to register an account or even start charging without registering and failed, because you need to enter credit card data, and if you have a debit card in your hand, it will not work. That's what happened. So in this 7 or whatever 10 minutes, I wasn't able to find a proper card which would work. Application would not allow other payment systems like Apple Pay or Google Pay. So so we just stopped there without the charging. If we had more time, I would be able to register it, of course, but 50 kilowatt chargers anyway, quite slow. So our stats. Since the start of our trip, we have already traveled 315 kilometers with the average consumption 165 watt-hour per kilometer. We are traveling more than 3 hours already. It's like 3.5 hours. And since our fuel station stop, we already have driven 1 hour 3 minutes and 123 kilometers driven. Okay, and the consumption, we have been driven mostly on speed limit, sometimes slightly above 5 kilometers above, sometimes 5 kilometers below kilometers per hour. So this is very good consumption. That's I don't know. Oh, we're already in Ostrava. Okay, good. So consumption is good, despite the fact that the weather is not optimal today. The road is not good here, so we have 80 kilometers per hour speed limit due to the bumps on the road. So what? This is our consumption prediction graph. Now Tesla expects us to arrive at Poland at first charging stop with 6% roughly. A better planner assumes we will arrive with only 2%. And wind from the west actually helped us a bit, because it's kind of a side back wind, for us now at this trick segment. So we helped a little, and we of course spent less on our climate control. So the graph looks like this. Now we have even lower consumption, 112, 138, 153, and we have some buffer, 85, 94, 114 kilometers, while we still need to drive 52 kilometers. I don't have sexy buttons now. They have glitched after I have upgraded, after I have performed OTA update of the car, so I have received matrix lights here, but unfortunately I have lost sexy buttons. I'm in contact with the support on Discord. They are trying to help me, but I have not been able to reset the commander properly, so I'm not having on all perks of sexy buttons. I will not be able to preheat the battery, but anyway, when the battery charge is low, it will have higher internal resistance. Therefore, it will heat itself just by charging. I will even try to remove, or I will try to disable active battery heating during the charging session to avoid stealing charging power from the charger. So that's the plan. See you on the charger soon. Okay, we are at Shell Belk. Everything is good, successful. Launch in service mode. Battery is 37 degrees centigrade. We have 6% the battery, and disable active battery heating, and I go. Okay, I have turned off the heating of the battery. I have not preheated it, and this I believe this charger is at maximum output power. Here we cannot get more. It is rated as 180, but it's really only 150 for Tesla. I mean, maybe 800 volt systems. You can see it is capable of 1000 volts. Therefore, 180. That's probably, yeah, it's up to 500 amps. So in theory, it should be able to give more, like Ionity, but probably input power is limited. Okay, that's strange. 144 and 150 going into the battery. That's strange. Interesting. Okay, so 22 minutes. We already have 62%, 73.7 kilowatt power. So everything is good. But I still need. I have ate something on the fuel station. They have normal food, yeah, and I still need to wash the windscreen. Okay, it was more than enough, even when we had 60% to reach Port Radomsko, Ionity station. But I think we will skip it because due to the urgent work, we had to wait to stay here longer, working through the laptop. Yeah, so connection when moving on the autobahn will be unstable, so we have to stay here longer. We will see what would be our next charging stop. Okay, we can turn off the charger. I have used Siri command. 42 minutes and we can go 88%. Okay. Battery was heated additionally. Okay, so we are already driving just past Ionity Port Radomsko, and we haven't stopped there due to the fact that we have overcharged. We have charged like almost to 90% on our previous stop, Noxo Shell Belk. This allows us to complete today's 900 kilometers trip with just 2 charging stops, and I'm keen to do it. Yeah, just because our first stop was so far away from our starting point, and we have overcharged on it. If we would stop on Mop Główno and charge there to 90%, that would be more than enough to reach home. So no need to do another ramp off, drive off ramp, you know, and get back to the autobahn and spend more than 10 minutes, for example, on Supercharger Ciechocinek, just to do another top up. So I am going to try it. So yeah, I don't know. We have 14-15 degrees centigrade. It was wet, so now it's again dry surface. We have wind and we are driving faster now. Despite this, efficiency is good. So I kind of like it. And maybe that's, you know, maybe the touring tires which I'm now using are playing its role. Maybe they are adding to the efficiency, and I like it. I need to get back to my aero caps and try it again. Maybe I will gain 3 to 5% more efficiency. Nice, you know, having an old car and you just experience that you don't have to stop that often. You can actually drive far away than you used to do. Okay, so it's nice. About the price, the cost of the charging stop, it was expensive. I knew about it, and I had some discount as a coupon code, but you know, it's not enough. If you have prices 79 cents per kilowatt hour like at Ionity, but charger is able only to provide 150 kilowatts, that of course not an optimal price. This price is not justified. But and also this 20 Polish zloty discount makes no big difference. So the total cost of the charging stop, and you need to pay for activation to start the charging session. You need to pay like €0.5, maybe even 60 cents. And altogether, this charging session cost me almost 211 Polish zloty, which is, yeah, expensive, but in the name of science, you know. I wanted to check if my car is capable of doing this trip in just 2 charging stops, and it was successful. I'm surprised and very glad. Okay, we are already passing Łódź. Everything is fine. We are keeping up to our promise to do only 2 charging stops. We are going to arrive at MOP Główno with 7% charge in like 19 minutes and 34 kilometers. We still have 18% of battery. It's 14 degrees centigrade outside, and battery has 42 degrees centigrade. No preheating, no preparation of the battery to the charging. So classic, everything is like without sexy buttons. Our stats are the following. It's already 4:05 p.m. in the evening, so we are driving already. It would be 7 hours when we arrive to the charging station, approximately. And how much have we driven? So we have driven since the start of our trip 594 kilometers, and average consumption roughly 180 watt-hours per kilometer since the start. When we entered the Poland, consumption has increased because we have higher wind, we have also wet conditions. No rain, but still road was wet, and higher speeds. So I'm driving 140 on the autobahns in Poland when possible, yeah. And we have consumption since our charging stop 205 watt-hours per kilometer, 224 kilometers driven in 1 hour 43 minutes. Our consumption graph looks as follows. We are using more than predicted because we have wind, which cost us already 5.5%. We are driving faster than 110 kilometers per hour, and this cost us almost 15% charge, and climate control heat pump saves us 2.1% charge. So this is good. Consumption graph, you see 209, 7, 13, and the remaining range 51, 53, 50, and we still need to drive 29. So yeah, everything is good. See you on the charger. Okay, 255 kilometers in 2 hours were driven. We have 7% remaining as expected. Temperature of the battery is 35, 36. Good. So I'm doing my trick, disabling battery heating. Okay, 1-3 connector, or second one, activating with the card and go. So what shall we see here? Okay, charging started. Let's see, 149 kilowatts here, 149 kilowatts here, very nice. Okay, another Tesla arrived here and charger started to split the power unevenly. I'm getting much less, which is not fair. I'm leaving. Okay, this charging was a bit unfortunate. Why? Because first of all, battery was a bit cold, there was no preheating. I have turned off the heating during charging, and what have I observed? That battery has reached only 52 degrees centigrade in the cells, min-max, and it started trotting earlier, much earlier, so it was below 100 kilowatts already at 34 or 36%, while normally it should get below 100 kilowatts at like 50, around 50%. So I have reactivated the heating while exiting. We are exiting the service mode. Then heating was started. Immediately the coolant temperature rose to 62 degrees centigrade, and battery was started to heat. Also, charging speed was not lower because we were also already below the maximum speed of the charger. So Tesla was just taking additional power from the charger for heating. Okay, but then suddenly another Tesla came to this charger, and this was unfortunate. I thought, okay, maybe 75 by 75, it would be evenly split. I would be fine with 75. At that moment, I had maybe 44% of the charger already. But this Delta charger split unevenly, yeah, so it left me only 1/3 of the power. So instead of, I don't know, 96 minutes ago, I started to receive only 46. That was too low and unfair in my opinion, and I have decided, just leave it, not to wait for another half an hour or so to get 90%. Just leave and charge at Ukrainською Supercharger. That's what we did. We are driving to Ukrainською. It's roughly 120 kilometers or so, relatively short fragment. It was available, all 4 stalls were available, but we shall see the actual status when we arrive there. I see a lot of Teslas on the road actually. Okay, a short summary of this unplanned segment of the trip. It's 5:24 p.m., 16 degrees centigrade outside, but strong headwind. We are driving 150, 140. We expect to arrive at Supercharger Ukrainською in 16 minutes and 27 kilometers at 5:40 p.m. Battery temperature is 36, 37. I don't know, will it preheat or not automatically? We shall see. So since our charging in Mob Glovno, we have driven 90 kilometers in 39 minutes. Average consumption is 254 watt-hours per kilometer. And since the start of our trip, already 717 kilometers with average consumption 182. This is our prediction graph, so we are spending significantly more, also due to the wind. Wind is 16 kilometers per hour average. That's all. The gusts are even higher. These are our graphs of consumption. 236, 234, 127. So see you on the charger. Okay, we have just arrived to Ukrainською. Queue for cheaper fuel, and we are starting to charge. What to do? What temperature? Temperature is 43.5, yeah, and we are going to charge. Bye Ukrainською. Okay, it's 6:37 p.m. already. As you can see, 38% in the battery left. We are going to arrive home with 12, which is absolutely fine, more than expected. It's 15 degrees centigrade outside, and yeah, still need to drive 50 minutes and 80 kilometers. Battery is now 31, 32, so already cooled down. We have covered 64 kilometers since our last charging stop at Cichocinek. We made it in 33 minutes and average consumption is 218 watt-hours per kilometer. If not speed limits, the consumption would be higher, as well as time to cover this distance would be shorter. In total, since the start of our trip, we have already covered 808 kilometers and average consumption is 195. Okay, our graphs, you see now consumption is more or less stable because side wind, no headwind anymore, which is okay, more neutral to our range. These are our consumption graphs, and our estimation graph is also turned green, maybe also due to the wind direction and also due to the fact that I have not turned off the heating of the battery during charging via the service mode. So I have noticed that in some cases it may have negative effect on charging speed. In this case, when we don't have sexy buttons and we don't preheat the battery while driving to the proper temperature, Tesla will tend to underheat the battery and then turn on heating while on charger. And also wind took us 2% of our range. Quite standard. We are finishing our trip and everything is fine. Some take home messages. Well, it's faster to travel for 900 kilometers if you do 3 shorter stops right on Autobahn. So I had my trips with the best time which I conducted like that, even without sexy buttons, but that was in summer, much hotter temperature. It would be faster with preheating of the battery using the sexy buttons, because I was not seeing today the power of charging which I was used to see using sexy buttons, a hotter battery. So that was slowing us down a bit. Also, if you have not preheated battery, not enough preheated battery, disabling of the heating during charging session has negative effects. At the beginning you are charging a bit faster, but only for first few minutes. After that you are starting to charge significantly slower because battery is cold and BMS is decreasing the charging speed. And then it's too late basically to turn on back the heating of the battery. Also, 150 kilowatts, I think it's optimal or higher. It's optimal charging speed for Model 3 Tesla with LG battery. You will hardly see the difference between 150 Delta charger and Ionity, which can deliver, let's say, 189 to my Tesla. And also, I think no difference with Tesla Supercharger version 3. But that's okay. So that's technology limit of this car. You know it, and you can avoid your limits or use it more efficiently. Okay, so that's it. Please write your comments. How do you like to drive? Basically, I have proven that it's possible to drive 900 kilometers family trip across Europe from Vienna to Gdansk area using only 2 charging stops. I think that with the sexy buttons, with the preheating, it would be even faster to charge there. But anyway, it is slower than conducting 3 smaller and faster stops. Okay, thank you for watching. See you later. Bye.
So what exactly happened? We have arrived home at 7:21 p.m., which is 9 hours 50 minutes since the start of our trip. We have been delayed by our additional stops on our way, so one non-charging stop of 8 minutes. Additionally, we have stopped at Supercharger Ciechocinek, additional 10 minutes for that, and we have been charging slower at 2 last chargers due to the sharing of a charging stall. So ideally we should have been finished this trip within 9 hours and 30 minutes, and if the sexy buttons would work for me for preheating of the battery before the charging stop, that would be even faster. Thank you very much. Bye.